Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2018 TVR Griffith. Now this started production in 2019 and is designed by Gordon Murray. This is the first car from TVR as part of its revival after they stopped production in the late 2000s due to various financial reasons. And yeah, the name actually comes from an older model that was produced between 1991 and 2002. And yeah, this is bang up to date for a revival of the brand, as it has extensive use of aluminium and carbon fibre, double wishbone suspension with adjustable coilover dampers. And yeah, I really do like the way that this car performs. Quite frankly, it's a really good sign of how good the engineering is going to be in TVRs of the future and currently with this car. Because yeah, it's got bang on 50-50 weight distribution thanks to all that carbon fibre and aluminium. It only weighs 2,645 pounds, which is far lighter than other sports cars that are rear wheel drive and front engined. And yeah, even though I'm not a massive fan of the looks, it's hardly a car that I hate the look of. It just doesn't look quite as interesting as previous TVRs, but it's still got plenty of TVR quirks that, you know, were legendary back when they were around. But it's yeah, like I said, bang up to date, and yeah, part of that is the engine, which as you can see is as far back as possible, but it's also a 5-litre V8 engine that produces 480 horsepower and 430 pounds-feet of torque. Now it's actually a Ford Coyote V8, which is most well known for being in the Mustang GT, but it's actually been modified by Cosworth to give a bit of extra power and torque, as it has 20 horsepower more and 10 pounds-feet of torque more than the current Mustang GT does. So yeah, that's plenty of extra power considering how much less this weighs. Weighs more than £1,000 less than a Mustang GT, while having obviously more power and more torque. Makes quite a difference, and yeah, because it's such a lightweight car, it can use all of that power. So even though it doesn't have quite the amount of power of other sports cars, it more than makes up for it due to how light it actually is. And you can see how light it is by the interior. There is not very much in here. Granted, it is well appointed. You've got all the kind of usual mod cons you would be expected on modern sports cars, but yeah, it's as decluttered as possible to make it as lightweight as possible. One thing that is kind of TVR is the fact that it actually has a button called kill. Now obviously it's not going to kill the driver or kill you while driving it or whatever, but yeah, it's kind of forward in terms of what it's actually supposed to do. Most people would have a different word there or just a symbol to simulate what that's supposed to be, but yeah, I just find that kind of old TVR-ish just to have something as forward as that there. It has also an adjustable spoiler that comes up at a certain speed, but as far as I can see, no actual boot, which, you know, doesn't make it practical. But then again, this is more of a driver's car. It's not about showing off or anything like that. It's just about being a driver's car. That's why it has a proper manual gearbox, no floppy paddle or automatic nonsense. And yeah, it's, like I said, rear wheel drive, front engine, and really rather well balanced. So yeah, nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see what this car can do. So yeah, TVRs of old were well known for having really rather unpredictable handling. Jeremy Clarkson once famously said that he thought TVR always sold their cars first and then found out from the customers how it handled. This, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It handles beautifully. There's very few cars on this game that drive as well as this when they're rear wheel drive and front engine, especially modern cars, and yeah, it's really well balanced. Obviously some of that comes down to the fact it's got 50-50 weight distribution, but a lot of that also comes down to the fact it just doesn't weigh all that much. A lot of modern sports cars at least weigh more than £3,000. This weighs as much as a hot hatchback, but has the power, you know, of a sports car to go along with it. So yeah, you've got the advantage of having very little in the way of weight, which helps in terms of handling. Also helps in terms of braking, as the brakes on this car are superb. As I shall show you now, we're doing what, 160 mile an hour? Oh, yeah, very little in the way of distance there. And yeah, the brakes are fantastic. Whether or not that's because of how lightweight the car is, you know, less weight means less momentum to stop, I don't know, but they are incredible, and the car does really get to a standstill in no time whatsoever. And it also gets up to speed really quickly as well. 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds, 0 to 107.8 seconds, and it going to a top speed of 199 miles an hour, which, if I'm right in saying, is the fastest full-on production TVR ever. I know they've had TVRs before that have done about 180, and obviously the TVR Cerberus B12 could do more than 220, but that wasn't a full production car. This, on the other hand, is. There's going to be at least 500 of these made, and probably more if they get a good reception, and yeah, they sell them rather quickly, and yeah, being no doubt that this car should sell really rather quickly, because as a driver's car it is superb. Now sure, it doesn't have the kind of weird quirks and craziness that TVRs of old were known for. You're certainly not going to have the smell of canoe factory inside, because TVRs of old were obviously made out of fiberglass, but you know, they've replaced it with something that's just as good, quite frankly, in terms of being a proper driver's car. Like I said, it does have a manual gearbox, so you know, you can generally drive it properly, and yeah, it handles so well that yeah, it's really weird to get used to, really, because most road cars do have some flaw in them that you have to get used to, but this feels more like a racing car, which, you know, can be a little bit disconcerting at times, because you're just not expecting it to be able to turn in as well and stop as fast as it does. But once you get used to it, you can have a lot of fun with it in terms of serious driving, or if you just dab the handbrake, you can get it to slide a little bit as well. But it does feel more like a serious driver's car than anything, which is no bad thing. You know, if you're going to compete against sports cars of today, you've got to have some serious outlook in terms of what you're going to be doing, and this, yeah, really has gone the whole hog in being a serious driver's car, and I imagine it'll be even better on a track than on the road, which isn't to say that it isn't road friendly. It's got, like I said, all of the kind of things you'd expect for a modern car to have. It's even got ABS now, which old TVRs never had, but yeah, it's a mix of the older kind of TVR with lots of power, not much in the way of weight, but a bit more serious and a bit more focused than they used to be. But yeah, really glad this is on the game. We've not had any real TVRs on Forza games for a long while. I know we've had the Sagaris a lot of the times, and we've got the Cerberus B12 back in this game, but yeah, this is the first new TVR to the game that we've had for forever, really. So yeah, really glad it's on the game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what TVR do in the future, because they have a 10-year plan apparently for numerous amounts of models to come out, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do in the future. My only real reservation with this car is the looks, but if they can get that right with this kind of driving ability, and yeah, fun driving ability as well, and you know, serious focus, then yeah, they're going to pretty much dominate the sports car market, quite frankly. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.